Hey guys, Richard Constable here, and today I got a question that I've been asked is who invented the guitar? So I didn't actually know, so I thought I'd do some research live with you guys and see if you guys got any comments in below. If you know anything about this subject, it would be amazing to find out, but this is what I found out so far. According to ChatGPT, the modern guitar, as we know it today, has evolved over centuries. So that's pretty obvious. And its invention cannot be attributed to a single individual. It's kind of evolved through different things. And its earliest ancestors can be traced back to ancient civilizations. So anytime there's been like a bit of wood with a string on it, that's a sort of guitar, isn't it? The guitar's lineage includes instruments such as the lute, if you've heard of that, the oud. So a lute looks like this. It's kind of like this just looks super, super cool. It's got a slightly smaller section here. You can get a little harp here, a lute harp. So that would be a pretty cool instrument to have. And then the oud looks like this. It's quite similar, but I assume it's got lots of differences, but I don't really know what they are. So it's got like a nice design here. And various stringed instruments across Europe, Africa and Asia. The Spanish vihuela and the Renaissance era guitar played significant roles in the modern instrument. So I don't know what this is. Okay, so again, it looks very much like a guitar shape, but obviously a lot smaller. But it looks like it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's got 12 strings there. So maybe it's just 12-string guitar. So that's pretty cool. And the Renaissance era guitar played significant roles in shaping the modern instrument. So that's pretty interesting. So one notable figure in the development of the modern guitar is Antonio de Torres Jurado, a Spanish luthier who refined the design of the classical guitar in the 19th century. So let's see if there's any pictures of this guy. Oh, he looks like guitarist and luthier, 1892. So back in the day. So guitar by Torres. So this is very much the classical guitar that you see today. Oops, change photos there. Switch photo. Okay, I don't know how to switch back. There we go. Okay, I've got a blue background on, but I've got one right here. It's gone into the blue, into the sky. Let's see if I can bring it through here. Yeah, here we go. Oh no, you can't really see it. Anyway, you know what it looks like. So there, guitar by Torres, 1862. So that's lasted generations upon generations here. There's innovations such as the use of fan bracing and a larger body size greatly influenced the instrument's sound and playability. While individuals like Torres made significant contributions to the guitar's evolution, it's important to recognise that the instrument's development was a gradual process shaped by many cultures and craftsmen over time, therefore it's not accurate to attribute. Okay, fair enough. Thank you, ChatGPT. So doing some research here, the evolution of the guitar, I thought I'd type in instead of who invented it, because it's kind of evolved over many years through lots of different, although the design has changed, like this is more ovally shaped, and then this has got like some curves like a body, like a human body, and then it's slowly gone bigger to fit our different shaped bodies. It hasn't actually changed that much. Obviously the timbre, the sound and all that kind of stuff, but in terms of it being a crafted piece of wood with strings stretched over to then make different noises, it's pretty much it's quite similar. So this article says modern day guitar came in the 16th century. Guitars were split into two varieties, the lute. Okay, so he's calling it a lute, a guitar, and a round medieval instrument that produced little volume, and the vihuela, which is what we saw earlier, whose design looks much closer to the one we know today, which is that small one. Okay, thank you, musicguard.co.uk. Blah, blah, blah. So, just looking at some images. So this is the image I just showed you a second ago. So these are the kind of wooden versions. And then, obviously, in the 20th century, there was a great picture here from Visually. See if I can get it blown up here. Is it going to, okay, this is some, it's not showing me the picture, which is not very helpful. Anyway, you can see potentially that since this is a good one, the electric guitar. Obviously this is, a lot of people play electric guitars. Okay, it's just taking me here, which is not very helpful. But let's zoom in here. 1931, the Rickenbacker frying pan. So very much has a very small main bit and then a huge neck. So the neck is where you get the different sounds and the different octaves. 1935 Rickenbacker electro strings. That looks a lot more like the Verhaler, or however you pronounce it. So that's 1935. So that's nearly 100 years ago. Nearly, or just 10 years away, 11 years away. Les Paul. You might have heard of a Les Paul. This kind of modern version here, which I actually have one right here in the blue. See if you can see it. Yeah, there you go. Can you see it? Hopefully. Whoa, it's all trippy. So, and then we've got Les Paul Log is one of the more original ones. So the original Les Paul player would have played one of these guitars. Les Paul Log was created by Les Paul after persuading Epiphone to let him use their workshop on Sundays. A Gibson pickup was mounted onto the 4x4 block of solid maple wood with the strings to avoid the feedback problems that acoustic electric guitars had at the time. To make the guitar look like a normal guitar, to cut an Epiphone F-hole guitar in half, glued the pieces to the side. Isn't that interesting? So he just used their workshop and then developed his own guitar. And then even helped to stop feedback coming, which is one of the biggest, well, I'm not going to say it's the biggest problem of the guitarist, but it's something that guitarists don't want to happen when they're playing. Then we've got the Bigsby Travis guitar. Okay, it's got a different headstock and obviously a very unique shape here. Paul Bigsby built this electric guitar in consultation with the guitarist Merry Travis. It shares some design features with the Broadcaster. Interesting. So that caster word, which is used in Telecaster and Stratocaster and all those other Fender models, potentially came from here, from the Broadcaster. Developed at around the same time, Bigsby and Travis worked on their guitar in California, not from Fender's center of operation. There's been some controversy about who was looking over whose shoulder during the design of these guitars. Interesting. I wanted to kind of show you Les Paul because not everyone will know who he is as a person, but his name is obviously living on through the guitars that he helped develop. So this is the guy, absolutely incredible player. Highly recommend listening to him. He's super, super fast finger picking. He's just crazy. Like if you try and play his songs, it's like, it's going to take a long time to learn them if you can ever do it. He was that good, and hence why he was so in love with the guitar that he made his own. And when did he live? Till 2009. So he's only just recently died, really, which is very, very interesting. We can see him with Mary Ford here, looking cool. And he was even playing in 2004. Kind of wish I could have gone to see him. But icon, legend, and just all round, incredible dude. So in terms of chart positions, 1945 number one, 1951 number one, number two. He was up there in the charts the whole time. 1953 number one. He's been up there most, like a lot of years that he was recording music. 7th in the US charts as well. So huge player. The other chap that was mentioned here was Bigsby and Travis. Okay, so Bigsby and Travis. So this is the iconic guitar. If you look at this dude, he's looking cool. And he used one of these, looks like a Les Paul. I know he's kind of copied the design there, it would appear. if this timeline is true, because the Bigsby Travis guitar looks exactly like the Les Paul log. If you look at this here, it just says Merle Travis on it instead. Okay, it's got some different design changes. It's got the pickups there. It's got the metal bridge piece there. So, and obviously they created lots of different things, but all part of the evolution of the guitar. I can't see any pictures of the other person. What is it? Whatever they were called, Bigsby and Travis. Okay. Anyway, now we get to maybe the more recognizable. I know the Les Paul log has been, you see a lot of Gretsch guitars in that kind of style, but Fender came out of the Broadcaster. Once Leo Fender had parted ways with his partner Doc Kaufman, he set out to create a guitar that concentrated on utility and practicality and less on design aesthetics. He wanted to create a regular guitar that had the clear sound similar to the sound coming about the electric Hawaiian guitars, but without feedback problems. The result was the Fender Broadcaster. Okay, so I have this guitar, but now it's called a Telecaster. I don't know if they make Broadcasters anymore, but yeah, it's not something that is made anymore, I don't believe, but I could be stand corrected. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. Maybe you can buy it vintage, but I don't know if you can buy it new. Let's see if we can do it. Broadcaster. Okay. Jimmy Page, Telecasters, or Telly's custom shop. Let's try and refresh to get some pictures. Double Esquire, that looks like an old guitar, but again, it's not called a Broadcaster there. So 70th anniversary, doesn't look like it's widely selling. Okay, then we had the Gibson Les Paul. After successfully experimenting with his log guitar, Les Paul took his ideas to Gibson. They turned him down, calling the guitar the Broomstick with a pickup on it. In 1950, though, Gibson came back to him and signed him and his design. While at Gibson, Les Paul went through 50 to 60 prototype guitars before he felt happy with his final design, which just goes to show you need a passion. So obviously he had a passion for playing guitar and making guitars, but number 3, he actually was happy to go through all the prototypes until he found something he was super happy with. It was the same with Dyson. Dyson went through, I don't know what, I've heard different numbers, like 1,000 prototypes, 5,000, I've heard lots of different numbers, but imagine if you went through 1,000 designs and then you finally found your winner, and then you went on to do other designs. Now you got the Stratocaster. Fender Stratocaster had 3 features that made it revolutionary guitar in 1954. First, it had a double cutaway neck, okay, with beveled edges. Second, it had the Fender engineered tremolo, okay, the tremolo unit built into the floating bridge. Third, it was the first solid body guitar to be fitted with 3 pickups. A 3-way selector switch on the guitar allowed the guitarist to select a pickup. This was later changed to a 5-way switch, as guitarists began to see they could get unique sounds by having the switch set in between the 3 positions. So isn't that great? They figured out that you can get even more versatility by having 3 pickups and then 5 places, 5 different sounds to make yourself as unique as possible. But what's amazing, that was 1954. So that was what, 50, 60, 70 years ago this year for the Stratocaster. Incredible. If I got my maths right there. Let me know in the comments if it's wrong or right. Okay. Next, 1979. So Van Halen, iconic player. If you don't know who he is, go listen to his stuff. He's got tons of songs, but if you really wanted to hear him in all his glory, have a listen to Eruption. said it was made in 1978, which even shows the quality he had back then. Okay. Eddie Van Halen's Frankenstrat guitar marks the beginning of guitars made for the Hyperfest. Technical playing, Van Halen pioneered employing higher output pickups, state-of-the-art floating tremolo units, and sleeker, more profiled necks and bodies to play faster on. Virtually every major manufacturer raced to come out with models all based on Eddie's original guitar, as well as giving rise to many newer companies such as Chevelle, ESP, and Ibanez. So incredible that he was just a game changer, and all those companies are huge, especially Ibanez. I haven't heard from ESP in a little bit. I don't know about Chevelle, but let me know in the comments if you know anything different there. Jackson Randy Rhoads, 1982. So this V-shaped guitar, Jackson Randy Rhoads. If I've spelled that right. So this is an iconic shaped guitar. Metallica used it a lot. Lots of the metal bands. The Flying V, I think some people call it. Huge change in the industry there. Jackson Randy Rhoads guitar represents design and technology changes that were happening with guitars in the 1980s. Randy Rhoads wanted to design a guitar that resembled a shark's fin. There you go, having less wood on the side of the guitar, with the treble strings allowed those strings to give a better treble response. Isn't that fascinating? So it has two uses. Number one, it's like a shark's fin. Number two, better treble response. But mainly, it's a shark's fin. Okay, that's all that matters there. Now we've got the Ibanez 7-string guitar. Another jump in, the evolution of the electric guitar. The 7-string solid body guitar was originally developed in the early 90s by Steve Vai. Okay, another pioneer in guitar. If you haven't heard Steve Vai, again, incredible player, incredible. He's a guitarist. He was part of Whitesnake, amongst other bands, but virtuoso, can play anything. He's incredible. Whether you like his music or not, it's a different story. His music is a particular style. Okie dokie. So, Steve Vai and Ibanez guitars. The instrument didn't come into prominence until '94 when Korn featured Ibanez Universe guitars on their debut album. So it just shows that influencer marketing. Korn, huge in the 90s, had so many good songs, and that's what brought that guitar forward. Had that people who were influenced by the huge band, and then they moved them forward. Drawn to the massive low end produced by the 7th string, typically a low A, many bands and manufacturers jumped on the 7-string bandwagon. Today, the 7-string still rumbles and shreds on, with artists like Muse, Dream Theater, and Suicide Silence using them. Okay, Dream Theater is the Steve Vai band, is it? Am I getting that right? Thought so. Was it Joe Satriani? Am I getting them mixed up? Okay, John Petrucci. Yeah, I might be just getting mixed up. Okay, I'm mixed up. Anyway, still epic players. And then, I don't know, Suicide Silence, Muse. Most people should know Muse. Guitar Hero controller. Okay. I never actually personally played Guitar Hero, which I know sounds crazy because I've played guitar for 23 years, but I should have played Guitar Hero, but the thought of pressing a few buttons just seemed silly to me when I could actually play it for real. Didn't make any sense. But anyway, maybe not a real guitar, but the rise of guitar-based video games has made quite an impact, while new generations of would-be guitarists are being introduced to the actual guitar via a neck with a few coloured control buttons. Yeah, I would say that's died out now, but maybe it hasn't. So that's just a little bit of evolution of the guitar. This might be a good picture to look at, if any pictures will actually work today. Not really working, not sure why. What about this one? Are we gonna help us out here? No, just no one's helping us out today. So first guitar 1500s, 1800s, single string guitars, 1840s new strings and new design, electricity amplification. So we've kind of gone from 1929 or whatever it was onwards, 1931. I can't remember which one. Talks about the log there and the frying pan, 1931, all the way up to the modern day. Okay. Well, hopefully that was interesting for you guys, and it was definitely interesting for me. If you got any comments or anything to share, feel free to do that in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.